So this is 29. Yeah, this is 31. सम्यच्छरोषं भद्रं ते प्रतीपांशेयसं परं श्रुतेन भूयसा राजन् अगधेन यथा मयम्. So externally this verse appears to say that, my dear king, just consider what I have said to you, which will act as a medicinal treatment upon the disease. Control your anger, for anger, the foremost enemy on the path of spiritual realization. I wish all good fortune to you. Please follow my instructions. So you can see the depth of the consciousness of Dhruva and Manu here. What is that depth? So it is told by Vishwanath Chakravarti and fluffed by Srila Prabhupada. So what he is saying is, this is simply imitating common behavior. Vyavaharik loka anukurvan. My dear Dhruva, you are acting like ordinary people because you are king and you have to show the anger. Because if you don't show the anger, there will be fully the other enemies and unnecessary attackers will not be fearful. So you show anger externally to announce to people your affection for your brother. So this is the externally you are showing all this. However, for devotees such as you, announcing your good qualities to the world is also a disease. So तादृशानां भक्तानां लोके प्रतिष्ठा प्रख्यापनम अपि रोग एव इति भावः. So actually, who is a Vaishnava who doesn't want his glories to be spread? So actually, that's what Bhakti Siddhanta says. He defines in Manashiksha what is Vaishnava. So Kanaka Kamini Pratishtha Bhagini Chhadiyache are say to Vaishnava. Say Shuddha Bhakta, something like that is there. Say to Parama Bhakta and like that. So actually, this is a very deep statement. Param Pujya Bhakti Prem Maharaj had come recently. So he was explaining this. This is the definition of Vaishnava. So to Kanaka, Kamini and Pratishtha Bhagini. So these three things, wealth, opposite sex, and Pratishtha, they are deeper and higher to give up. And we practice to give up. But who is Vaishnava? Vaishnava is one where these three things have given that person up. That is a Vaishnava. So they have given up all their hopes of getting him. So what Maharaj was saying, that we begin with practicing these things not to get affected by it. But when Maya Devi puts them and then she tries her hard and then she gives up that Vaishnava, that this fellow is gone now. Yes. So that is called Vaishnava. So that's what Loke Pratishtha Prakhyapanam api roga. So for you, so Dhruva, you are a great devotee. So you are showing all this external. Similarly, Kardama Muni also actually was behaving like a lokanu gatam pashum hitva shutaste charnata patram. So he was also behaving, and his nature was he cannot reject authority of Brahma. He can't reject his authorities, although he was not willing to enter into any sort of any other responsibilities other than his devotional service. But because there was need, so he entered into Grihastha ashram. And he showed that I am a bull, I want a cow. So Lord, please give me. So Jiva Goswami says that actually. He is a very exalted person. So these devotees are revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Acharyas. That is the glory of Bhagavatam. So you see, Prabhupada also says, Dhruva Maharaj was liberated soul. Actually, he was not angry with anyone. But he was the ruler. It was duty to become angry for some time in order to keep law and order in state. So that is the cause. And here Prabhupada narrates that story, very nice story. So Dhruva Maharaj is becoming angry with miscreants was quite appropriate. There is a short story in this connection about a snake who became a devotee upon instruction of Narada, who instructed him not to bite anymore. Since ordinarily snake's business is to fatally bite other living entities, as a devotee, he was forbidden. Unfortunately, people took advantage of his non-violence, a part of snake, and especially the children who began to throw stones at him. And he didn't bite anyone, he just followed the instruction. Just as Kardama Muni, he followed the instruction, whatever was told. But it was the instruction of his Guru. So Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, just like South Indian Brahmana also followed. After a while, when the snake met his spiritual master Narada, he complained, I have given up the bad habit of biting the innocent living entities, but they are mistreating me by throwing stones at me. Upon hearing this, Narada Muni instructed him, don't bite, but do not forget to expand your hooves, as if you were going to bite. Then they will go away. Similarly, a devotee is always non-violent. He is qualified with all good characteristics. So this was Dhruva. But in common world, when there is a mischief made by others, he should not forget to become angry, or at least for the time being, in order to drive away miscreants. So, such deeper consciousness and deeper dutifulness and the right spirit is shown in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, that is the glory of the literature which we are discussing. So, with that reflection, over to you. Some reflections from yesterday. Quick, some one or two statements. Please go ahead. Anyone wants to say? Yes.
No, we discussed, you said how actually anger is good sometimes. And then we discussed various degrees of angers and how they are reflected in terms of some anger were good, some anger were not good. So we discussed the example of, like Vajari Prabhu gave example of Amrish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni, where Durvasa Muni was unnecessarily angry.
Yes.
We saw the example of Indra also.
Yes. So they were inappropriate anger, and there was appropriate angers also, right?
I think Shobha Lakshmi Mataji wants to add.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
All forms of incompleteness are experienced due to the incomplete understanding of the complete whole. And what we do due to that incompleteness is karma.
Yeah. That is Srila Prabhupada in Ishopanishad. And that binds us, that gives us suffering, etc. Yes, thank you. So, anger is, there is appropriate use of anger also, where Prachetas are becoming angry, Nandi is becoming angry. So, their cause is correct, but the expression is over. Expression is Atirosh. Like Dhruva is here, same. So, anger is appropriate here. Here, if someone doesn't become angry, that's a problem. So, there is a utility of anger, and there is a cause of anger, and there is a extent of expressing the anger. So, introspective devotee has control over this. He knows his duties and he knows what is proper Vaishnava behavior. Like Jeev Goswami becoming displeased with Rupa Narayan. So that is authentic anger. That is because of his love and affection and respect for his spiritual masters, Rupa and Sanatan. However, his deep humility is seen when he was told, you go out, he went out. So that is the, so anger has utility. So we saw that also. Anything else? Last, one who has not said anything, they want to say something. So, okay. So let us, currently our section is going on where Dhruva Maharaj, even after telling instructions till text 14, such a mature and compassionate and well-wishing intervening of the administrator Manu is seen here very nicely. So till 14th verse, he tried to diagnose and elaborate what is the problem and glorified him also and connected with him that our family, this doesn't suit for our family. You know, so a devotee should behave like this, and I'm surprised at how you are behaving like this, because you are a great devotee. You are the best among the devotees. So like that, he is speaking actually, and he tells the conduct of devotee also. But still, he sees that Dhruva Maharaj is still affected by the affection of his brother. So then he resorts to Tattva Upadesh. That is from 15 to 24. So that's what we were discussing, and we were in the text 21. So this is a very important thing. Even the devotee of Cadre, so when it comes to pacifying, there is a need of tattva, which is presented with great empathy and sensitivity. But tattva has to be there to pacify. So we can see that in so many places in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Vidura is getting affected by lamentation, hearing the Prabhash. So Uddhava is pacifying him and then telling deep Siddhanta of Krishna, Krishna's form, and the eternal form of his associates. So there is no destruction happened, what you heard. That is one place. And Sachi, no, Sachi Mata, upon demise of the first wife, she was greatly lamenting. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from Bengal, and then what he did? Hmm? Uh, that the verse I don't remember fully, but it is like something like this, that uh, Sachira Vimochan Tatve Upadeshe Kaila Sachira Shoka Vimochan. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to pacify Sachimata like that. Even Krishna also did that along with the sages after the battle. No, 1.8 if you see. So tattva is very important. It is not just a hard-hearted thing to speak gyan. So here, because he's emotionally affected, right? So that's how this tattva is going on. So 21st verse, we'll see. Yeah. So आयुषोपचयं जन्तोस्तथैवोपचयं विभुः उभाभ्यां रहितः स्वस्थो दुःखस्य विदधात्स्यसौ. Yeah, someone can read 5 verses, or whoever begins. I think you have to see this. Yeah, please. Anyone want to volunteer? Okay, so I will request. Okay, yes,
The,
Prabhu. Please. Thank you.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is all powerful and he awards the results of one's fruitive activities. Thus, although one living entity's duration of life is very small, whereas that of another is very great, he is always in his transcendental positions, and there is no question of listening or increasing his duration of life.
Yeah. So, see, different people have different lives, and that is based on their previous karma. That's the whole theme going on here. Don't blame the Lord. Lord is equal to everyone. So that's what is the previous verses, right? Navai swapakshasya vipaksha eva va ityadi. So that's what thought is going on, that just as rain is equal to everyone, and based on the seed and the sand, which is karma and the sangha, the plant develops. So there is nothing, and plant has life. Some plant lives for some time, some plant lives and gives so many fruits. Some plant gives some, thorny bushes. So this all based on karma. So that's what. So whole purport Prabhupada explains Abram, that verse, Yastvindra Gopam Athavendra Hosau Karma Bandhanurupa Phalabhajanamatanoti Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhaja. So Prabhupada is quoting from Indragopa insect to the Indra. Everyone is affected and controlled by karma. However, when Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhajam, so Prabhupada is quoting that part. The Lord diminishes or vanquishes the reaction of devotees. So Lord is completely independent to do whatever he wants for the welfare of devotee. So he doesn't have to go by to do welfare, he doesn't have to look at the system, which he has created. He is beyond his system of karma and maya. So he helps devotees irrespective of whatever his karma is. And Bhagavad Gita 9, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. So like that, Prabhupada is telling that these all, everything is going based on destination also is based on karma. Quoting 9.25. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quoting lastly, my friend, you are being washed away in the material nature's waves of time. Please try to understand that you are eternal servant of Lord. Then everything will stop. You will be eternally happy. I don't know which is this song. Anyone knows? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And this is it that Anadi Karma Phale? That one? Anadi Karma Phale Padi Bhavarnava Jale Tari Bare Na Koi No Upay. But it doesn't fit fully. Anyone knows this bhajan or Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying? Anadi karma phale. Anyway, so that's what it is told here. Now next text 22. केचित् कर्म वदन्तेन स्वभावं परे नृप एवं कालं परे दैवं पुंसां काममुता परे. Yeah, continue.
The differentiation among varieties of life and their suffering and enjoyment is explained by some to be the result of karma. Others say it is due to nature, others due to time, others due to fate, and still others say that it is due to desire.
Yeah. So there are people who are trying to decipher the reason of why it is happening, but they don't have clear understanding. Different people, kechit karma vadante. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Prabhupada also says in the very beginning you can see the purport. Prabhupada says there are different kinds of people. So Mimamsakas, atheists, astronomers, and sexualists, and so many other classifications of mental speculation. So this is all referring to one word in this verse. There is karma, swabhava, kala, daiva, and kama. So it is referring to all this. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that actually it is all karma. Nanu tarhi karmaiva sukha dukkha janma marnadi karanamastu. Satyam. Atraivam vadino vivadantu ityaha. But the philosophers have different opinions. So Mimamsakas say that sukha dukkha pradam is karma. But see, even if their conclusion is right, they don't have any clear understanding of goal of that karma. So they keep on going and coming back. So in Shankaracharya time, there was such person who was karma mimamsak. So Shankaracharya wanted to speak to him. But he was just about to lit up himself in a sacrifice to go to Swarga. And he said, it's too late, now I am going. So actually, they are convinced that material world is meant for enjoyment and enjoyment is through karma. Just do good karma, go to Swarga, enjoy, finish punya, come back, again do karma. So that is what is one Mimansaka. The Lokayatas, like the Charvak Muni, etc., they say Nranam Kritva Ghritam Pibet, etc. So they say Swabhava is the cause. And Vyavarikas, they say the time is the cause. So like that, there are different people you can see here. And astrologers say the Devatas is the cause. So Vyavarikas are the followers of Puranas. Astrologers say Daiva and the Devatas connected to the planets. And Vatsayana is the writer of Kama Sutra, I think so. So he's saying everything is running on lust only. The whole world is running. Kamo akarashat, kamah karoti, kamah karta, kamah karayita. So Prabhupada also quote this. Yes. So there are different opinions of different philosophers. But you understand the core, that is Supreme Lord is beyond all this and he is controlling. So actually something similar is spoken by someone else in Srimad Bhagavatam. Can someone say, when he said, what is the cause? Yes, anyone remembers? Hint is that he was asked that who is the cause of your problem? And then,
Prabhuji, may I?
yes, Rishi Kumar Prabhu.
It was in discussion in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto between Parikshit Maharaj and Kali.
And bull, right? The bull,
And the
Dharma
bull.
bull. Yeah.
And then when the bull was been severely hampered, so Parikshit Maharaj asked, what is the reason for this? And then he gives various reasons. But ultimately he says, probably it is my karma only. And then actually he says, you are Dharmaraj, like that. Because one who thinks from various angles.
Yes. So actually, what Dharmaraj says is not karma. He says actually, I can't point out. Some people say this, some people say this. Because if I point out the cause of my distress, I will be attributed to that. Suchakasya. So actually, this is a very deep thought process of causality. Of the bull. That's why it's like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Dharma. You must be Dharma, he says. No one can have such. Actually, the person is right away standing in nearby him, still he is not saying he is the cause. This is the depth of his causality. So Suchakasyapi, like that, there is verse actually. So actually that's what different have people have different opinion. So, Suchakasyapi tad bhavet. You can see here. Dharmam bravishi dharmagya dharmo si vrisharupa dhruk yada adharma krita sthanam suchakasyapi tatha bhavet. Hmm? My, oh, the king said, oh, knower of dharma, you speak dharma by not telling me the identity of your aggressor. Because the person who points out the sinner attains the same place as the sinner. Hmm? So you are dharma in form of a bull. Actually, it's a very deep thought. So similarly, he is saying like this. You see, here before verse is similar. Some people are saying this, some people are saying that. You can see here. Some say itself is the cause of suffering. Others say planets are cause of suffering. Others say karma is the cause. Others say inherent property of matter is cause. So among these, some ascertain happiness and distress come from that is which is beyond the reason and perception. O sage among kings, consider the proper truth by your intelligence. So I am not going to point out. So that is one example, bro. Perfect. Any other place where someone has come to this conclusion? So there is another person who was deeply hurt by the society and he came to the conclusion. Yeah. Yes, Shobha Lakshmi Mata, you have example.
So yeah, I don't know if it's right. Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yudhishthir Maharaj about when?
Uh, so that there are so many sufferings.
Bhishma Yudhishthir discussion, is it?
I think so.
Okay. So yes, in one sense we can say that Yudhishthir Maharaj was not being convinced actually. He was thinking, I created all the problems. Actually, he was not. But he has to be convinced about. Yes, Yashika Mata, you want to say any example?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Parikshit Maharaj, before, I guess, when before he Kali,
Before he,
saw Kali.
yeah, so Parikshit Maharaj is able
Yeah,
to.
he was about to meet Kali, I mean.
Hmm. So, means, see, he could understand the bull's talk. So he is also in the similar consciousness. Sure. Hmm. Yes, Rishi Kumar, you want to add some other example?
Prabhuji, is it Avantika Brahman?
Yes, that's what I was looking for. So he comes to the conclusion. Actually, this world, people are going to have these experiences. And what is his conclusion is what? What is param karan na karma kalaha? What is the param karan of the distress?
Mind.
My own mind
Actually, there
only.
are many. Yeah. But before that, also, actually, he gives many such points and philosophies, but later he says the mind is the problem. But he
Actually,
gives various other points also, like here
yeah,
it is.
he says, Nayam sukho me sukad na devata na graha karma kala. मनः परम कारणमामनन्ति samsara chakre parivartayet. So this is the first verse of that Avanti Gita, which is sung by whom? Who is sharing this song of Avanti Brahman? Supreme Lord Krishna only.
Krishna is saying to Uddhava.
Yeah. So Avanti Brahmana's consciousness, no one knows in this creation except the Supreme Lord. So that's what his consciousness was, that my mind is the only cause. Because of course, so that's why the causality is very important to be understood to actually become, actually concentrate on the Supreme Lord. Causality. Otherwise, so much time, energy, and mental thought process goes in finding out and criticizing and how to say, retaliating the cause of our distress. Right? So that's what is the lesson here. So let us go further. So next verse also says to the same way, it continues. So some people say this, some people say this. So Prabhupada elaborates all these things. The real conclusion is that it is our work only that binds within the material world in different varieties of life. So that how it is told in Vedas. And then he tells about Kama, which I already told. Prabhupada also quote Vatsyayan. And then Kama cannot be annihilated. So one has to. So Prabhupada brings it to a very practical thing that this lust or Kama, one cannot just kill it or fulfill it, but it has to be dealt. So one has to. Prabhupada quotes Narottam Das Thakur. What is that? Kama Krishna Karmarpane Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane Ityadi. Because this is the deepest, one of the strong anarthas. The desire becomes purified. And when one's desires are purified, one becomes liberated from all material contamination. So the conclusion is that different philosophers theorize to explain varieties of life in their pleasure and pain and are all imperfect. The real explanation is that we are eternal servants of Lord. As soon as we forget, we are thrown in material world. So that desire has to be purified. Then our disease of wandering in the universe under different forms is villain. So 23rd verse goes in the same way. अव्यक्तस्य अप्रमेयस्य नानाशक्तियुधस्य च न वैचिकीर्षितं तात को वेदाथ संभवम्. Yes, continue.
Yes, bro. The absolute truth transcends, is never subject to the understanding of imperfect sensory endeavor, nor is he subject to direct experience. He is the master of varieties of energies, like the full material energy, and no one can understand his plans or actions. Therefore, it should be concluded that although he is the original cause of all causes, no one can know him by mental speculation.
Yeah. So now ultimate cause is the Supreme Lord. But how it is the cause? Avyakta. So that cause is not to be seen easily. Avyaktasya. So Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, you can see he writes very nicely. Who among these disputes established the real truth? No one. See, they are all ignorant of root cause of everything. So, root cause of everything is not known. So, that's what I was referring to. The true causality is very important to understand. So, why they cannot know? Because avyaktasya. So, by using our power of intelligence, pratyaksha praman, it is not possible to understand the cause. And what is cause of that avyakta is aprameya. Aprameya is impossible to be measured. Right? he is invisible, avyakta, and unfathomable or immeasurable, aprameyasya. Because Pratyaksh Pramana, how much you can do? Like Dr. Frog philosophy, Prabhupada says in this purport. So this is all aprameya. You are trying to measure. I know Maya's another meaning, which was told by Prabhupada Jayadvaita Maharaj once, is that we try to measure. Trying to measure is also Maya. So aprameyasya. Why it is not possible? Because he has so many Shaktis. Kala, Karma, Swabhava, Kama, Adina, Udayo, Yasmat. So all these causes which were mentioned by different people, they are partial understanding, like that story of six blind men understanding the elephant. So they were not wrong, but they were not fully right. Right? They were partially right, partially wrong. So all these causes are coming from that one cause, who is the source of all Shaktis. Nana Shakti Udasya cha. So he is Ashraya of that Shakti, but Tesham Shaktim Ati Tasmin Vastuto Nasti Eva Vivada iti Bhava. So no one can understand. So because of that nature of Supreme Lord, Tasya Bhagavatasya Chikirshitam Eva Kopi Naveda. So why Lord is acting any action, no one can know. Naveda Kaschit Bhagavat Chikirshitam. Tabeha Manasya Nrinam Vidambana. Kunti Maharani is also telling the same thing. My dear Lord, no one can understand why you are doing what you are doing. So you protected my children, but the 5 children of other, they were killed. And Subhadra's Abhimanyu was also killed. So who can understand? Person like Bhishma was also gone. So why you do what you do is very difficult to understand. Chikirsha means what? Why he is acting. The intention of his action cannot be known. Then what to speak of? Swasya sambhayo yasmanta na ko veda. Tata ko vedata sambhavam. So means how one can know his origin, because no one was existing, he was existing, right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that how can a person like a child can know who was there in the marriage of his parents? How he can know that? Because he was not existing only, how he can know? So Lord says that in 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam cha maharshaya. Aham adihi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. So no one who has been created by Brahma can know my origin, because they were not existing only. How can they know origin of me? So this is the difficulty in understanding the Bhagavan aspect. So same thing is quoted by Bhishma Pitamaha. Nayasya karhichit rajan puman veda viditsitam. Yad vijidnyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopi. My dear Yudhishthir, even the intelligent people are unable to decipher the actions of Supreme Lord. What to speak of his intentions? So you just don't try to understand, but just try to execute the will of Lord. Then Yudhishthir says, Arey, that Lord is standing here, why don't you ask him? So Bhishma says, even if you ask, he will bewilder you. Because right now he is bewildering you. In a sense, he is just wandering like one of you, as your brother. So that is what is he is saying, Bhishma is telling. You can never understand, just you execute his order, that's all. You will understand afterwards. 1.9.16. So Nayasya Karhichit Rajan, he says, and after that what he says? So Tasmad idam Daiva Tantram Vyavasya Bhartarshava. So you understand, this is the Lord is desiring this, O controller, O best of the Bharata lineage, discerning that the suffering and happiness are dependent on Krishna only. Just execute, follow him and become the king. Protect the helpless citizens. So you don't evaluate the supreme, you don't try to understand, but just follow. Right? So Yudhishthir may say that, but how can you say that it is all dependent on Lord and no one knows the plan of Lord? When Lord is there in that moment right in front of you. How can you not know his plan when you can ask him? So in reply, Bhishma says, what he says, Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshat. Actually, he is there here standing. Sakshat Adyo Narayana Puman. He is the origin, but he is bewildering everyone. Mohayan Maya Lokan Gudas Charati Vishnu. Among Vishnus, he is just wandering just as one of your brother and all that. So, even if asked by Bhishma, the Lord will not speak, but instead he will evade him by answering, am I so intelligent? So, like that, Lord will bewilder. So, even if he says something, he still bewilders everyone. Therefore, his plan is to be followed, but not subject to inquiry. So, that's the point being said here, that the Supreme Lord as a cause cannot be fully understood. Avyaktasya aprameyas. Na vai chikirsitam tata. Ko veda vasambhavam. So Prabhupada elaborates all these points which we already elaborated. So he starts with telling that only. A question may be raised and all that. Right? So I already explained that. And Prabhupada gives that analogy of Dr. Frog who was trying to measure this much, big, and he died. So, like that, the scientist, Prabhupada is punching on scientist very nicely. And he gives a very brilliant example here of sun. And sun is covered by cloud, or in the night, sun is there but is not visible. So, can you use any method to see the sun? Nothing can be done, right? So that is very amazing example. That when sun is covered by cloud, you can do anything with the cloud sitting here. Can't do anything. Not to speak of trying to find sun in the night. So even if you use torch light, but you cannot find out. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says this story actually. So yesterday one devotee here in Bhagavatam class in Kanpur was sharing that only by mercy of sun you can understand the sun. Night, whatever you use, you can never decipher by torchlight. So here Prabhupada is writing the story of his Guru Maharaj. So torchlight, no one can say that he has discovered a torchlight so powerful that if one goes on roof and focuses the torchlight on night sky, the sun will be seen. There is no such torchlight, nor it is possible. So this is aprameyas and avyaktasya. Only by mercy of sun one can understand the sun. So that very nice statement comes. Transcendence is not subject matter of direct experience. So that is called the unmanifested, avyakta. So under the circumstances, no one can understand the plan of Supreme Lord. Right? So what is to be done? So this is the best part of Srila Prabhupada's purport, which no Acharya writes. That is Sharanagati. So the Sharanagati is the means to approach and understand the Supreme Lord and experience the Supreme. So Prabhupada brings out that point in his purport, which actually is brought out further later. So Prabhupada punches on material scientist here. You can see the material scientist can simply study the partial understanding of varieties of energies, but it is not possible in full by dint of material science. So by Bhakti Yoga, where is that? So yes, please read this portion. The Bhakti Yoga process, please read. Is it visible? The Bhakti Yoga process, however, is completely different from so-called scientific advancement of knowledge. A devotee completely surrenders to Lord who reveals himself by his causeless mercy. So that is the process. So he again writes about surrender, quoting Bhagavad Gita. Therefore accepted as, so how we understand, how we surrender? So see here. But he reveals himself to devotee who fully surrenders unto his lotus feet. Bhagavad Gita is therefore to be accepted as the revealed scripture spoken by the Absolute Truth himself. when he descended. If any intelligent man wants to know what God is, he should study this transcendental literature under guidance of Guru. Then it is a very easy task to understand Krishna as he is. So it's very interesting to see Srila Prabhupada repetitively writing in Bhagavatam that study Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is a profoundly deep scripture. Sometimes we think that I'll just cross Bhagavad Gita and go to the higher topics of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Prabhupada is telling here that go to Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavatam, he would have said read Bhagavatam, but he is saying Bhagavad Gita because that is Prabhupada says elsewhere that this is graduation. So first we have to do that properly. So actually this Sharanagati is the essence of our practice. So Mahaprabhu appeared for that. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kari Swaparshad Sviya Dhama Saha Avatari Atyant Durlabha Prem Koribare Dar. So he came to give the highest love of God. But he came to teach what? Not Raganuga Bhakti. But he came to teach Sharanagati. Sikhaye Sharanagati Bhakatera Pra. So Sharanagati is the essential aspect which is highlighted by Srila Prabhupada, and the essence of Gita is that Sharanagati, Sarva Dharmam Parityajya. Right? So that way the approach has to be. So now conclusion is given in the next verse. न चैते पुत्रकः भ्रातुर्हन्तारो धनदानुगा विसर्गादायनोस्तात पुंसो दैव हि कारणम्. Yes, bro, please read.
My dear son, those yakshas who are descendants of Kuvera are not actually the killer of your brother. The birth and death of every living entity are caused by the Supreme, who is certainly the cause of all causes.
Yeah. So the conclusion is Lord is the original cause. So actually this causality is something very important, which I was mentioning also previously. So if we are clear about the causality of things happening here in the material world or in our life or someone's life, then we can have proper convictions and proper concentration on Supreme Lord. And we can comfort someone who is affected. Like if you remember, there was a Muktinath-ish crash which had happened and some devotees left the body. So my spiritual master came all the way from US to pacify the devotees because it was very difficult for them to digest the fact that these are all initiated, dedicated devotees. How can they leave the body like that? And there were other people in the plane, they didn't die. So there were people, but they didn't even chant and they died while chanting Hare Krishna. So what can be better than this? So actually, he has to come to pacify the things. So these tests are going to come in everyone's life. So we have to be very clear with causality and we should have proper association. So that's what. Now next verse is telling, don't blame the Supreme Lord. Sa eva vishvam srijati sa evavati hanti cha athapi ह्यनहंकारान् न्याज्यते गुणकर्मभिः. Yes, Prabhu, last for you.
The
Please.
Supreme Personality of Godhead creates this material world, maintains it, and inhalates it in due course of time. But because he is transcendental to such activities, he is neither affected by ego in such actions or by the modes of material nature.
Yeah. So Lord is not to be blamed because he doesn't have ahankar. All jivas have ahankar. Anahankaram. And najyate guna karma. He is never attached to the gunas and karma. So Prabhupada elaborates this anahankaram. That conditioned soul has false ego. But Lord doesn't have. He doesn't have difference between his body and his soul. But the foolish people, Prabhupada quotes 9.11, avajananti ma modha manushim tanumashit param bhavam ajanantu mama bhuta maheshwar. So they are fools. It's a great fool, Prabhupada says. Anyone who thinks Krishna is an ordinary human being. So it's a great fool. Because he only says, I am never affected by karma. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha ityadi. So he quotes that, and then he says that there it should be very clear for one to understand the difference between the Lord and the living entity. So we saw that Dhruva Maharaj was revealed this Paratma Nirana, right? So one has to understand. And Prabhupada punches Mayavadis because what they say that actually this incarnation which you say, na, it is just see Maya, Brahman is highest. And the incarnation which you see, Rama, Krishna, Narasimha, when Maya covers Brahman in Sattva Gun, then incarnation comes. Hmm? When the Brahman is covered by the mode of passion, all the jivas are there. And when Brahman is covered by Tamo, you have Prakriti, matter. So that's how everything is Brahman. And Maya covers that Brahman for avatar. So Prabhupada is quoting that here, Mayavadis. So they say all this foolish. They don't have clear understanding of difference. So this is a very dangerous philosophy. So Krishna has no false ego. So that's how he ends. Because these Mayavadis don't know Param Bhavam Ajanant. So what is the effect? Moghasha Mokha Karma. They don't attain any of their desires. So the words Param Bhavam and Divyam are especially significant in understanding Krishna's personality. So that's how Prabhupada says. Now, having established the conclusion, now he is just telling that how ahankaratva hetu, why Lord doesn't have ahankar. So he's saying in text 26, Esha bhutani bhutatma bhutesho bhuta bhavana swashaktya mayaya yukta sujatya atti chapati cha. Yeah, now someone else can read 5 verses. No. 26 to 30. Yes.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul of all living entities. He is the controller and maintainer of everyone. Through the agency of his external energy, he creates, maintains, and annihilates everyone.
Yeah. So this verse explains why Lord is without attachment and material identity. Ahankarat. Because he is doing everything by his energy. It is separated energy, like Swashaktya, Mayaya Yukta. So he does creation, maintenance, and destruction. And why he does? To maintain all of us, you, me, and everyone. Even that Yaksha. Because he's Bhutani, Bhutatma, Bhuteshu, Bhuta Bhavana. Means he is maintainer, is super soul, and controller. And he is doing all these things. So he doesn't have ahankar. Actually, the fact that he is doing all these things shows his love for the rebellious people. Right? In material world, he is involved in all this. So where is the question of him having ahankar? He is pure, always pure in his action because he purely loves every living entity. So that's what he's saying. He doesn't have any ahankar. So now the beautiful verses begin here. So Prabhupada quotes 9.4 here. Matsthani sarva bhutani. So bhutani, same verse, same words comes there. That's how Prabhupada is quoting. So 9.4 says, na, what is that? Matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshu avastita. न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्यमे योगमेश्वरम भूत भृन्न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूत भावना. So same words are there. So Prabhupada is quoting how Lord is involved in this material. Right? So that's what Prabhupada quotes. So now from 27 to 27, 28, 29, 30. So 4 verses he is telling. So Dhruva Maharaj may say that, my dear Manu Maharaj, you have enlightened me and I am enlightened now for the cause. But still I cannot give up my ahankar. So what I should do? Then Manu Maharaj is replying in 4 verses that you surrender. So what Prabhupada told previously is what told here. Because the process of jnana, one can never give up ahankar. Only by Saranagati in Bhakti one can give up ahankara. So this is what is told in the 4 verses in essence. So this is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. You can see here. Though I have been enlightened by you, I cannot give up my ego. 4 verses answer. Surrender to him. Without surrender, it is difficult to give up ego by knowledge alone. So that is what is. So let us see these nice verses. Tameva mrityum amritam tadaivam sarvatmanopehi jagat parayanam yasmai balim vishvasujo haranti gavo yatha vai nasidamayantrita. Yes, continue.
My dear boy Dhruva, please surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate goal of the progress of the world. Everyone, including the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, is working under his control, just as a bull prompted by a rope in its nose is controlled by its owner.
Yeah. So here he is saying that tameva mrityum amrutam tata daivam. So mrityum and amrutam means what? He is both. Sarvatmana upehi. So this is the essential instruction. With whole heart you surrender, upehi, to this Lord who has all these qualities. Jagat Parayanam, etc. So here Mrityu is saying, yeah. So Jagat Parayanam means he is the controller of the entire thing, ultimate goal of everyone. So you surrender. So including Brahma. So this analogy is given at many places in Bhagavatam actually. That Yadvachi Tantyam. So Lord is through his injunctions of scripture is controlling everyone. Like a bull is controlled by the ropes in the nose. So same thing he is saying here. He is saying even myself also and even Brahmaji also. Vishwasrujo, Haranti, Balim, they offer their respects to him, homage to him. Right? So you surrender to such Supreme Lord. So no one is independent, everyone is controlled. Right? So including Lord Brahma. So that's what. So Prabhupada begins with the disease of independence. The material existence is to declare independence from the Supreme Control. Actually, our material existence begins when we forget the Supreme Controller and we wish to lord over the material nature. Everyone of the world is trying his best to become the Supreme Controller. It's a very profound statement. Individually, nationally, socially, and in many other ways. So it can be institutionally also, you can say, within. So this kind of feeling is very deep rooted. Right? So one wants to take the position of lordship. So he is saying that, and Swayambhu Manu is pointing out that. Right? So Swayambhu Manu seeks to eradicate the last tinge of false ambition in Dhruva's explaining position of supreme control. So that's what. So Prabhupada quotes about death, Mrityu Sarva Haraschaham and all that. The Lord therefore is simultaneously death and immortality. Death for the demons and immortality for devotees. So this is from Sridhar Swami. Right? So one may put forward an argument, Prabhupada is saying, that why the demigods are worshipped then? So why only Supreme Lord? Demigods also some people worship. The answer is given here that demigods are worshipped by less intelligent men. Because demigods are also controlled by the Supreme Lord like a Buddha. The demigods themselves accept sacrifices for the ultimate satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's how Prabhupada is very wonderfully bringing out the Ashraya Tattva here. Yasmin Balim Vishwasrujo Haranti. So he is telling demigod worship is also done by less intelligent people. So you surrender to that one Supreme Lord only, not to anyone else. Just as Gajendra surrendered. Actually, when Gajendra was in problem, no, So demigods were watching, and they were saying that actually he would have called us also for help, but he is not calling, so let him die. But the Supreme Lord comes, right? So that is his pure devotion. So Lord becomes little angry at demigods also, surely, in that case, because they didn't help his devotee. So text 28. Yeah. So now he is encouraging him. He is telling in 4 verses that you surrender to that Supreme Lord. Actually, you have done that surrender before. It's very easy for you. At the age of 5, you had surrendered and you have experienced. And you are the lotus of our dynasty because of your great devotion at the age of 5. So please surrender. So that's how he's reminding him. Yah panchavarcho jananim tum vihaya matuh sapatnya vachasa bhinnagmarma vanam gatas tapasa pratyagaksha aradhyalebhe murhi padam trilokya. Please read.
My dear Dhruva, at the age of only 5 years, you were very grievously afflicted by the words of your mother's co-wife, and you very boldly gave up the protection of your mother and went to the forest to engage in the yogic process for realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As a result of this, you have already achieved the topmost position in all the 3 worlds.
Yeah. So he is reminding, see, Prabhupada is saying that Manu was very proud that Dhruva Maharaj was one of the descendants of his family because at the age of 5 years he began meditating on Lord and 6 months he attained to see the Lord face to face. So you are, that's what Prabhupada is fluffing. You are the lotus of our family. It's a great proud for me that you are. However, now again you surrender. You are Manushya, you are descendant of me only. So now you surrender. Because Dhruva Maharaj has already surrendered to Lord, he was especially requested not to do anything unbefitting a surrendered soul. So how do I do that? So now at this time, seek him in your mind. In mind, you focus on him. Don't focus on killing now. Focus on him. That's what he's saying. तमे तमेन मंगात्मनि मुक्त विग्रहे व्यपाश्चितं निर्गुणमेकमक्षरम् आत्मानमन्विच्छ विमुक्तदात्मदृक् यस्मिन्निदं भेदमसत् प्रतीयते. Please read translation.
Please therefore turn your attention to the Supreme Person, who is the infallible Brahman. Face the Supreme Personality of Godhead in your original position, and thus, by self-realization, you will find this material differentiation to be merely flickering.
Yeah. So, Atmanam Anvicham. So, seek. Anvicha. Try to find out. Seek. So, this is the very important thing when we are in difficulty or even in happiness also. That we seek to find out the Supreme Lord who is the cause of all causes. And what happens by that? We go beyond the dualities. Vimukta Atmadrik. Yes, so one will become Vimukta, means he will not get affected by dualities. But what is the effect of that? Atmadrik, one is able to see self-realized actually. Seeing the Lord, what happens? The Bhedam, Idam Bhedam, Yasmin Idam Bhedam. Like you are now seeing friend and enemy, that Bhedam will become distasteful for you. Will become very inauspicious naturally. You will it will appear to be unbeneficial and unattractive to you. Arauchakam abhadram pratiyate. That's what Vishwanath says. So make your mind free from contradictions by seeking the Supreme Lord, who is there in your mind out of affection, Vyapashraya. So that is what. So Prabhupada also elaborates this point. So Lord Manu wanted to change the vision of Dhruva Maharaj, who was looking upon the Yakshas as different from him, as his enemies. Factually, no one is enemy or a friend. Everyone is passing through different types of bodies under the law of karma. But as soon as one is situated in spiritual identity, it does not see differentiation in terms of law. So that is what. So Dvaite Bheda Bheda Jnana Saba Manodharma. Ei Bhala, Ei Manda, Ei Sab Brahm. So that's what. So Brahma Bhutas Prasannatma Prabhupada quotes. So such observation of differentiation subsides as soon as one is situated in his original position as eternal servant of God. So the disposition in dealing with the difficulties and dualities is important, and the depth of that disposition, because we get disturbed if our disposition changes to any other upadhi. So now, if you do this seeking, anveshan, what is the fruit of that anveshan? That is the next verse. Tvam pratyagatmani tada bhagavantananta anandamatram upapanna samasta shaktau bhaktim vidaya paramam shanakaira vidya granthim vibhetsyasi mamahiti pravrudham. Please read last one.
Thus regaining your natural position and rendering service unto the Supreme Lord, who is the all-powerful reservoir of all pleasure and who lives in all entities as the super soul, you will very soon forget the illusory understanding of I and mine.
Yeah. So, see, the only contamination or only problem in this world is this aham and mama. In essence, aham mamabhimanotthair kamalobhadivirmalai. So, aham and mama. So, giving up mama is one thing, giving up aham is very difficult. Prabhupada writes in one purport, actually, to giving up I is very difficult, even for a spiritualist. So giving up I-ness. So I possess something, to give up that is easy. So renunciate, say I doesn't nothing belongs to me in this world. I leave everything. But to give up I is very difficult. So I possess something, so I gave up that. But I do something. I am doing so many things. That kartrutva is very deep. And more deeper than that I-ness of kartrutva is jnatrutva. That I know that nothing belongs to me, and I know that I am not the doer, but I know. So if I may go, what is that drama? If I go, I may go. No, what is that drama? Anyone knows? That Madhvacharya and some drama is there. So that I is very deep rooted actually. So that can go only by such seeking and surrendering. So that is anveshanam phalam aha. So that's what is told here in this verse. That how, so this is told by Srila Sanatana Goswami actually. Because here what is told? Bhaktim vidhaya paramam shanakair avidya granthim vivesi. Gradually the avidya granthi will be destroyed. Right? You will undo, vibhedasi, you will undo the avidya granthi. So when it happens in Bhagavatam, vidyante hridaya granthi chidyante sarva samshaya. That happens at the level of bhava. Right? Till the time the anarthas are there to some extent, and avidya is still there. That avidya will go at that level if we continue to take shelter of the Lord. So avidya, so vivesi mama iti prarudham. Prarudham means it's very, very deep. So what Sanatana Goswami is saying here, you can see. Yeah. So he says that Bhagavati Shri Krishna. So Bhagavati Ananda Matra Upasanna Samasta Shakti. So here Bhagavati word is there. No? Tvam Pratyagatmani Tada Bhagavati Anande. So Bhagavati means Krishna. Paramam means Nishkamam, Vishuddham. We approach with that Vishuddha, Nishkam mind. And what will happen by that? Shanakair Vidhayeti. Parama Bhakter Dushkarataya Kramena tat siddhe. even if you practice Param Bhakti or Keval Bhakti, with great difficulty and gradually it is removed. So that is what, that's why once my Guru Maharaj was saying, if you intensely practice bhakti, then you make gradual progress. Like that. Yadva Shanakai Chiram Kramena Yo Avidya Rupo Granthi Tamiti Durbhedoktya. So it's very difficult to break that Granthi. That's why it is told Shanakai means long time it will take. Like that. But for you, there is no problem because you had earlier also surrendered to the law. So, like that. So, you can see here that evam pratyek atmadi bhagavat mahatma jnanena पूर्वम निष्काम भक्त्यैव रणाद अहंकारादि अनपागमेन वैरेण कुबेर अनुचरेण त्वया घटिता iti. So earlier you have killed these yakshas thinking them to be your enemies. That was influence of that avidya only. So now it is not there. You just seek. So that's all. So Prabhupada also elaborates these things that Dhruva Maharaj was already a liberated person because he saw Lord at the age of 5, etc. But time being, he was affected. So though I and mind, Prabhupada writes, the whole world is affected by I and mind. Actually, the point when I and mind is given up to certain extents, substantially is the stage of Nishtha. Before that, actually, more or less everyone is acting on I and mind. So that is what is the borderline of Anartha Nivritti crossing and Nishtha. So this is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Where it is given? It is given in, this is there in the prayers of Brahmaji in the 3rd canto, 9th chapter. So we have to introspect how much we get affected by aham and mama in our life and go further because it's a big thing. So now he tells 31st verse, which was the glory of Bhagavatam, which we saw. Samyacharosham vadramte pratipam shreyasamparam shutena bhuyasa rajan gadena yathamayam. Yes, now someone else can read 5 verses.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, please read, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhuji 31 translation. My dear king, just consider what I have said to you, which will act as medicinal treatment upon disease. Control your anger, for anger is the foremost enemy on the path of spiritual realization. I wish all good fortune for you. Please follow my instructions.
So this verse I explained, the Vyavaharik Loka Anuvartan. You are externally angry because of your duty. Now you give up. Announcing your good qualities to the world is also a disease for you. Because you are such a Vaishnava. For you, Loke Pratishta Prakhyapayan api ek roga. So, Prabhupada also elaborates. So I showed you already all these things, right? So Dhruva Maharaj was liberated, so etc. So here Prabhupada writes about anger. So anger is such, but anger is such that if it increases unlimitedly. So that's the problem with anger. So Prabhupada writes something similar in even the Daksha Sabha episode also, that such exalted personalities were there, but they all were completely affected by the negative atmosphere created by over anger of Nandi and then Bhrigu Muni. So Bhrigu Muni is also very exalted person, but he also, so it's a very dangerous sabha. So whenever anger comes, actually at least we should resist, do not express it publicly. It creates great difficulties. So Prabhupada says further here about that grandfathers, he immediately stopped fighting. So this is the beauty of the devotee, you know. So as soon as he is corrected, he accepts. So that is what is the glory of Dhruva Maharaj. So see here Prabhupada is writing. Dhruva Maharaj could understand the purpose of his grandfather and he immediately stopped fighting. So now having said all these things, now he is passive. So the words Shutena Bhuyasa by constantly hearing. So this is very important to control anger. So Prabhupada is re-emphasizing that how Shravanam is very important, regularly Shravanam. Srila Parikshit Maharaj said that constant hearing of pastimes of Lord is panacea of all material diseases. So I was wondering where he says that. I don't know. Anyone knows this verse? Panacea of all diseases, he says. Everyone therefore should hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. By hearing, one can remain in equilibrium, and thus his progress in spiritual life will not be hampered. So, how do we follow this instruction of Prabhupada? Constantly hearing. So, how do we understand? I also don't understand. But the same Srila Prabhupada has said something practical that Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Seva. Every day attendance in Bhagavatam class. So every day we should hear. So that is something practical in our own lives. But I don't know how to do this, what Prabhupada is telling here. Constantly hearing. I don't know how to do that. And then the nice story comes, which already we discussed. So text 32. Yenopasrushto पुरुषात् येनोपसृष्टात् पुरुषलोक उद्विजते भृजं न बुद्धिस्त्वद्वशं गच्छेत् इच्छन् अभयम् आत्मनः. Yeah, please continue.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A person who desires liberation from this material world should not fall under the control of anger, because when bewildered by anger, one becomes a source of dread for all others.
Yeah. So proper conduct is being explained. You see, Vishwanath is saying. Because what happens, anyone becomes angry, everyone becomes fearful around. So actually, I have full understanding of this because I am dealing with my own anger. I am trying to deal with it. And I could see that. Even if they don't know anything, simply by seeing your face, they will become fearful. Angry person is seen, but they don't even know why someone become angry. But angry person creates a very udvega for others. So give up that, he is saying. So proper conduct is not. Everyone becomes fearful. Yena upasprishat purusha loka udvijate brujam. Udvij. So na buddha. So intelligent person doesn't get controlled by that. Tad vasham gachit. Ichham abhayam atman. So intelligent person should control the anger. So right conduct is told. Right? So that's how. So Prabhupada writes a small purport here. The same thing. A devotee or saintly person should not be dreadful to others, nor should anyone be source of dread to him. So both. So Prabhupada is writing second part also. So once Prabhupada, I think in one temple opening, Prabhupada had become angry because I don't remember the reason, but Prabhupada asked for yagya, please bring pushpanna. And they brought some rice cooked. So Prabhupada became quite angry and a new bhakta was there. He was sitting there and he saw Prabhupada becoming angry and he said to Prabhupada that you chant Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada was so humble enough to do that. So I don't know where it happened. Anyone knows that? In West, which place in US or somewhere it happened?
Yes, प्रभु जी हुआ था ये हमने
I think
क्लास
I
में भी
heard
पढ़ा था.
some.
Where?
I heard from Radhesham Prabhu saying that there was something in Juhu. Prabhupada was giving initiations.
Uh-huh.
Prabhupada told them that in the initiation that fruits are required. He said fruits. So one disciple brought fruit salad or something, and Prabhupada got angry on that. So
Yeah.
then the devotee said, Prabhupada, why don't you chant Hare Krishna? I'm like, have you heard this from Radhesham Prabhu?
Yes, yes. So that's the issue. Actually, and Prabhupada is so humble. Other place Prabhupada was angry and then But afterwards, there was no effect of that anger. So Prabhupada's anger is transcendental. He has no personal involvement. Hmm? But Prabhupada is telling no one should make him angry also. So that is additional. If one treat others with non-enmity, then no one will become his enemy. There is an example, however, of Jesus Christ, who had enemies, but they crucified him. The demoniac are also present, always present. They find fault even in a saintly person. But the saintly person never becomes angry. And even if there is a very growth provocation. So Srila Prabhupada personified this in Mr. N and Mrs. N especially. So when Mr. N left the body and Prabhupada was in Australia, I think, and he was told. So Prabhupada kind of became little happy, said that Narsingh Dev did that. However, same Prabhupada was created more problems, by Mrs. N. But the same Mrs. N was accepted like a daughter by Srila Prabhupada. So that is Srila Prabhupada who is writing this purport. So 33. Now you see how refined is this personality Manu. Now having such maturely spoken to Dhruva, now he is telling him that you have done a mistake. Now you correct the mistake by begging forgiveness from the person whose people you have killed. No? Go to Kuvera and beg forgiveness. So actually, that's what is told in the next verse. So this is such a refined, mature, compassionate, well-wishing, dealing with an issue by the Manu. So that's amazing here. Helanam girishas bhratur dhanadasya tvaya kritam yajjagrivan punya janan bhratur gna nityamarshitaha. Yeah, please read.
Translation: My dear Dhruva, you thought that the Yakshas killed your brother, and therefore you have killed great numbers of them. But by this action you have agitated the mind of Lord Shiva's brother Kuvera, who is the treasurer of the demigods. Please note that your actions have been very disrespectful to Kuvera and Lord Shiva.
Yeah. So now he is telling, now you please understand this what you have done. You have done what is not proper for Vaishnava. So what you should do now? He is telling remedial measures. So this is true well-wisher. He is not, he is dealing with a person, not a policy. He's not applying a policy, but he is dealing with the person, individually serving him, facilitating him, digesting his anarthas, and guiding him, appreciating him, what he has done in the past, encouraging him, telling him what to do. And now he is telling the remedy of what he should be doing. Such amazing guidance of Manu. So the killing of Yakshas is an offense. Helanam. So now you go and pacify. So somehow or other, the mind of Kuvera has been agitated. Dhruva Maharaj was advised to pacify him. Means what? You go and beg forgiveness. And so that's what is Manu's request. And see, one thing is you have affected. Now you have to do something. It is not just in mind. So when we commit Vaishnava Aparad, so one has to go and beg forgiveness and satisfy that person. As we were discussing earlier, like that time there was an example discussed of Param Pujya Gaur Govind Maharaj, no? Rishi Kumar Prabhu was saying that if thorn is gone from the leg, it cannot be removed from the head, right? That's what you say. It has to be removed from there. So we have to go to that devotee if we know and beg forgiveness and satisfy him. So next verse is that. Tam prasadaya vatsrashu sannatya prashayoktibihi nayavan mahatam tejah kulane bhavivash abhi kulanno abhibhavishyati. Yeah, please.
Translation: For this reason, my son, you should immediately pacify Kuvera with gentle words and prayers, and thus his wrath may not affect our family.
Actually, how amazing is this Manu's guidance? You see, he is telling what to do and how to do us. Hmm? Tam prasadaya vatsashu. Ashu means immediately. You should satisfy him. Hmm? How I should satisfy? By offering obeisances first. Sanatya. And then prashaya uktivihi with res- prashaya means taking shelter and gentle words of forgiveness. You should do this. Don't do just, I am alone, I will repent myself and chant more rounds or do something. No, you have to go to that person and humbly beg and then beg forgiveness genuinely, repentfully. And and then what he is saying is amazing. He says, then we will be saved because Manu is also his grandfather, right? So actually, when a great soul, a Vaishnava aparadha happens, it affects the whole family. Hmm. So he's saying that Mahatam Teja, Kuvera is a big person. You have done so, then there is a scope that our family will not be destroyed or defeated. Because anger of great persons is very dangerous. So, raging the great soul is digging our own grave. So, very, very dangerous. So, such kind of expression is there in Bhagavatam, at least at one place I remember. Anyone remembers? Any other place where he's saying, let me not affect this great souls now. So, anyone remembers?
Draupadi says when Ashwatthama was going to be killed, so she says not to kill me.
Sadhu, sadhu. Very nice example that Draupadi is telling. So, Draupadi gives such an amazing reply to him. And in one of the reason was this. Yes. Thank you. Any other example? So there is a personality in fifth canto. So that is what? Rahugana and Jad Bharat. So Jad Bharat was affected by Rahugana. Then Rahugana is praying like that. And he is saying, I offer my respects to the small children who are sadhus, then big, and let the dynasty of Kshatriyas never offend the great souls and these Brahmanas. Otherwise, it is destruction. And same was spoken by Draupadi, as Mataji nicely said. Actually, Draupadi said that we are Kshatriyas, we are controlled by the Brahmanas, and Brahmanas, he is son of Brahmana, he is so we can't do that. We have to protect our family. Arjuna, why you are acting like this? Are you not grateful? So like that. So that is their sensitivity in their dealings. So Prabhupada also says, in our common dealings, we should maintain friendship with everyone, and certainly with such exalted demigods as Kuvera. Our behavior should be such that no one should become angry and thereby commit wrong to individuals, families, or society. So, general instruction Prabhupada has given. So, we should not be cause of udveg of anyone, within and around and without. Text 35. एवं स्वायंभुव पौत्रम अनुशास्य मनोध्रुवम ते नाभिवंदितः साकं ऋषिभिः स्वपुरं ययौ. Please read.
Translation. Thus Swayambhuva Manu, after giving instruction to Dhruva Maharaj, his grandson, received respectful obeisances from him. Then Lord Manu and the great sages went back to their respective homes.
Yeah. So that's how this chapter ends. So now you see how Dhruva is responding. So Tena Abhivanditaha. So Dhruva offered respects to his great grandfather who has helped him in a right situation. So this is how Dhruva Maharaj, being a wonderful devotee, was helped at all times by the Supreme Lord. After Suniti guided him rightly, after that Lord inspired Narada to help him. Then he attained the Supreme Lord. Then he repented, and then he was affected by the Yakshas who killed his brother. Then he became angry, and then he attacked. Then Lord inspired the sages to help Dhruva to deal with the Mayic illusions created. Then Dhruva became very powerful. Then he over really angry, started killing too many Yakshas. Then the same Lord inspired Manu to help him, and now Dhruva Maharaj is well set here in the last verse. So thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the fourth canto, 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Swambhu Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj. So all glories to Swambhu Manu's such a wonderful dealing and guidance, which is filled with compassion, encouragement, clarity, and remedy, and everything. So it's a very wonderful guidance. So still some more time is there. So few verses we can cover of next chapter, and then we have time. Then we will take some discussion if it is there. Comment, question, clarification. Yesterday we could not do that, so today we can do that. So chapter 12, Dhruva attains the pole star, or Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. Text first. मैत्रेय उवाच ध्रुवं निवृत्तं प्रतिबुद्ध्य वैशसां दपेतमन्युं भगवान् धनेश्वरः तत्रागतश्चारणयक्षकिन्नरैः संस्तूयमानो न्यवदत् कृताञ्जलिम्. Yeah.
Translation. The great sage Maitreya said, "My dear Vidura, Dhruv Maharaj's anger subsided and he completely ceased killing yakshas. When Kubera, the most blessed master of the treasury, learned this news, he appeared before Dhruva. While being worshipped by Yaksha, Kinnaras, and Charnas, he spoke to Dhruv Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands."
Yeah, so see, Dhruva Maharaj disposition is completely wonderful now. And he was supposed to approach Kuvera, but Kuvera is now coming to him. Can you imagine? So it's amazing. And now Kuvera is eager. Kuvera is so happy with his response that he wants to bless him also. And he blesses him also in next few verses. So such a wonderful, if we just do the needful in our duties under guidance, then even if we commit mistakes, the things are taken care of properly by different Vaishnavas and our sincerity. So, what is the essence of the chapter? The 12th chapter describes how Dhruva received benediction from Kuvera and returned to his own city. Worshipped the Lord through sacrifices, renouncing everything, attained the abode of the Lord in the same body. So basically four sections. The Dhruva received benedictions, then returning to his own city and worshipping the Lord through sacrifices. This is one way. And third, last is renouncing everything and attained abode of the Lord in the same body. Right. So it's a bigger chapter. I think there are many verses. So next time we have to continue. So we'll complete some verses, first section. So text 2. Dhanada uvacha bho kshatriyadayad paritushtosi men te nagha yatvam pitamahadeshad vairam dustejam atyajah. Yeah, someone else can read now. Someone else, you have read many verses. Someone else who has not read till now. Sachin Prabhu
The
or
master,
Kumar? Yeah.
the master, the master of the treasury Kubera said, "O sinless son of a Kshatriya, I am very glad to know that under the instruction of your grandfather, you have given up your enmity. Although it is very difficult to avoid, I am very pleased with you."
Yeah. So see, Dhruva Maharaj was with folded hands. Actually, Dhanada only came to him. But how did he saw? He was humbly in disposition, in forgiveness, and he must have done what Manu told him. Although here it seems not to be given here. But yeah. So now Kuvera is speaking. Bho, bho, means this is so much expressed pleasure actually. I am very paritushtosi. I am very, very happy. I am not angry at you. That's the point. Paritushtosi. Hey, sinless one, Anagha. So you have not committed any sin. Kshatriya Adat. So Kshatriya Adat, son of Kshatriya, Kshatriya Dayad. So because it was your duty as Kshatriya, I understood. So I am glad. And why I am satisfied? Second line. Yatvam pitamaha adeshat vairam dustejam adhyatyaja. So you simply executed order of Pitamaha and you gave up your enmity. I am very happy with that. And why Paritushtasha? Because it's not very easy to give up in this world. So enmity is very intense emotion. It's very difficult to give up. Right? So it is even spoken by, I think, who says that? Narada says in 7th canto that actually these Shishupal and Dantavakra, they were more absorbed in Supreme Lord than myself. Because in enmity, the absorption is very much. If someone is enemy of you, it's like great absorption. Like Kamsa was constantly thinking of Krishna. Hmm. Of course, there was fear there. Hmm. But Shishupal and Dantavakra, especially, there is great dvesh. So it's very difficult to give up. So recently, I think Paramahansa Bhakti Vibhav Maharaj had come. There was a nice question answer session where Shiman Sundar Shampu was asking something. So Maharaj said that should serve Vaishnavas indiscriminately. Hmm. Especially those Vaishnavas whom you don't like, you should serve them. You know. So actually, this will help us to give up our enmity by bhakti. Because to give up enmity is very difficult. The negativity, and the problem is negativity doesn't remain that much. It goes on increasing if we don't work upon it. Right? So I think here we have discussed with Kapila section. I don't know, did I teach you or you must have learned that Kapila section, Lord Kapila only says that how this is a cancer. So the negativity, then dislike, then there is disrespect, then disregard, then there is hatred, and then there is enmity, and then there is criticism and blasphemy. So this is how it grows. So it is just like a 4-stage cancer. So we have to deal with it in initial stages. That's what Maharaj was saying. So at least we should not dislike any Vaishnava. What to speak of not liking? We should become happy to see a Vaishnava, right? If we don't become happy, that is an offense. So that's why he's saying very difficult to give up. So text 3. Na bhavan अवधाद यक्षान न यक्ष भ्रातरम तव काल एव हि भूतानां प्रभुर अप्यय भावयोः. Yes.
Actually, you have not killed the Yakshas, nor have they killed your brother. For the ultimate cause of generation and annihilation is the eternal time feature of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. So now he is also very clearly saying, because he has also right. Actually, sometimes we have to have clear disposition of demigods and have respect for them. So we can see Kuvera's understanding here so nicely, that this eternal time is happening. And he is very clearly saying that both killings are happening by that time factor. No, you have not killed Yakshas, which are my followers, nor they have killed your brother, which has hurt you. So, because the eternal time factor, which is controlled by the Supreme Lord, is acting that way. So Kuvera, however, assured him that factually he had not killed any of Yakshas, therefore he was not at all sinful. Anagha. So, so that's how Prabhupada is elaborating. Text 4. Aham tvam tvamitya apartha dhira jnanat purushasya hi swapni va bhavati atadhyanat yaya bandha viparyayau. Yeah, please read.
Misidentification of oneself and others as I and you on the basis of the bodily concept of life is a product of ignorance. This bodily concept is the cause of repeated birth and death, and it makes us go on continuously in material existence.
Yeah. So again, same thing is being said. I and mine is the danger. I and mine is the only contamination in our consciousness. So this has to be becoming positive. Hmm? So I don't possess anything that is mine, right? And I am not the doer. I am not the enjoyer, and I am not the knower also. So who am I? I am Krishna's eternal servant, and Krishna is mine. So that I and mine is proper I and mine where we can be situated as we progress in bhakti. So that positive. So Prabhupada elaborates here that everyone is part and parcel of Supreme Lord. When we actually come to this understanding of being eternally related to Supreme Lord, this distinction, which is based on bodily concept of life, cannot exist. So this exactly what I was saying. That this I and mine cannot be killed. It has to be shifted. That I am Krishna's and Krishna is mine. And so that's what conscious endeavor to connect ourselves and everything of this world with Krishna, and seeing and dealing accordingly. So this is the way the thing. So Prabhupada is further writing, when living entities are in Krishna consciousness, there is no such distinction as I and you, because everyone is engaged in service of Lord. So among the devotees, he is saying, right? So in Pracheta section, Prabhupada says that actually the difference, there will be difference of opinion in devotees because they want to serve Krishna in a different way. So Matabhed is natural. Matabhed is nice, not just natural. But Manabhed is a problem and offensive. So we have to have a right perspective and it should not be utopian thinking that everyone thinks in the similar way. No, every living entity is unique and he wants to serve Krishna in different way. No. So he says if we are real Vaishnavas, if we don't have any material tinges, then we will not get affected by the difference of opinion. Because everyone wants to serve Krishna. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. So even though hand is working one way, the leg is working in another way, since the purpose is the same. So this is not to be confused with statement of Mayavadi philosopher, everything is one. Prabhupada is saying Mayavad should not be thought like that. Real knowledge is that hand is hand, leg is leg, body is body, yet all together are one. As soon as the living entity thinks that he is independent, his conditional material existence begins. The conception of independent existence is therefore like a dream. One has to be in Krishna consciousness, his original position. Then he can be freed from all material bondage. So very brilliant thing he's saying. So it has surely connection with Varnashram system also, right? Because Varnashram system is also like that. The hands are the Kshatriyas, the head is the Brahmana, the belly is the Vaishyas, and the legs are the Shudras. And everyone is essential, everyone is inevitable, needed for everyone else. There is great interdependence. No one can be independent. So that was the ideal society which was existing, but it has crushed because of the wrong application by the higher castes like Brahmanas. So the Varnashrama great institution has become a wrong notion of caste system. However, Prabhupada 50% of his desire is to revive this system of Daiva Varnashram, where there is a great interdependence and appreciation and respect and service to the Supreme. So that's what he is saying. So there is oneness here. So text 5. Tadgat ध्रुवं भद्रं ते भगवन्तमधोक्षजं सर्वभूतात्मभावेन सर्वभूतात्मविग्रहम्. Yes, please.
My dear Dhruva, come forward. May the Lord always grace you with good fortune. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is behind our sensory perception, is the supersoul of all living entities, and thus all entities are one, without distinction. Begin therefore to render service unto the transcendental form of the Lord, who is the ultimate shelter of all living entities.
So he is saying that, yeah, Sarva Bhutatma Bhavena. So what is that? So that is the state of a person who sees Para Sukha Dukhi and Para Dukha Dukhi, Para Sukha Sukhi. So that's what Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma Kurvannapi na Lipyate. So Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma consciousness means Samatva. Means what? That he is able to, so this comes, no, Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, Yah Pashyati Sa Pandita, right? Atmavat Paradareshu, what is that? Sarva Para Paradraveshu Loshtravat. Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu is same here. So he deals with everyone as he wants others to deal with him. So that's how he becomes dear to everyone and everyone is dear to him. So Prabhupada explains this word Sarva Bhutatma in Bhagavad Gita like this. Because he is in servitude. So he can't commit offenses. The person who is established in servitude cannot commit offenses because he is properly situated in his disposition. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. To render service to the form means every living entity. So Prabhupada elaborates these points. Dhruva Maharaj is advised herewith to render service unto supreme form. That will include service to the other individual form. So means not just the supreme now. For example, a tree has a form. When water is poured on the root of the tree, everyone, leaves, twigs, flowers, everything is water. So Mayavad conception is absolute truth is everything. He must be formless is rejected here. So Prabhupada is punching on Mayavadis everywhere in this episode. Because Vigraha word has come here. Sarva Bhuta Atma Vigraham. So they will misuse this word. That Lord is Sarva Atma Bhu Vigraha. So that's why Prabhupada is punching on the Mayavadis, not to misinterpret this verse. So now he is very happy and he is saying now, of course, next verse. Now he is saying, worship that Lord. Bhajasva bhajaniyangrim abhavaya bhavachidam yuktam virahitam shaktya gunamayyatma mayaya. Yes, now someone else can, who has not read or I don't know. Okay, you continue, bro. Few more verses.
Engage yourself fully, therefore, in the devotional service of the Lord, for only He can deliver us from this entanglement of materialistic existence. Although the Lord is attached to His material potency, He is aloof from her activities. Everything in this material world is happening by the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So, he is telling now, fully engage in bhakti because he will deliver from this. So, in continuation of previous verse, it is specifically mentioned here where Dhruva Maharaj should engage himself in bhakti. So, devotional service cannot be remembered to Brahman. So, Prabhupada is punching on Mayavadis and Bhajasva word is bhakti. So, that same week, there must be servant and service and the served, right? So Prabhupada is in that mood of punching on the Mayavadis only. So when you say bhajan, means there should be these three things should be there, right? There should be the savior, sevak, sevya, and service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is served. The mode of activities is to please Him is called service, and one who renders service is called servant. like that purpose. And the last part of purport, the living entity who is of the material marginal energy is entrapped by material energy on the basis of his desire to lord over the material. The Lord is aloof from this. But when same living entity engages in bhakti, then he becomes attached to his service. This situation is called yuktam. So yuktam virahitam. So yuktam word comes in Bhagavad Gita so many times actually. So Lord has so many energies. Tesham aham samudharta matya samsara sagar. Prabhupada is quoting. Anyone who is serving, Lord will deliver him personally. Right? So that's what this verse is saying. But those who are not devotees, involved in such activities, whereas those who are doted with bhakti are freed from such action and reaction. So three modes effect. The Lord is therefore described here with the bhavachidam, who can give deliverance from the entanglement of material existence. So now this concluding verse for today. That is last verse he is saying. So he is very happy. So he's saying, please ask some benediction from me. Runehi kamam nrupam, runihi kamam nrupayan matogatam, mattastvamauttana vishankitah, varam varaho bhujana bhapadayo, anantaram tvam vayamam rashushrum. Yes, please.
My dear Dhruva Maharaja, son of Maharaj Uttanpad, we have heard that you are constantly engaged in transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known for his lotus navel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Please therefore ask without hesitation whatever benediction you want from me.
Yeah. So he is very happy. So whole file is closed now. Right? So that's what is there in this verse. So Prabhupada is quoting here, Dhruva Maharaj, son of King Uttanapad, was already known throughout the universe. So he was very famous actually. He was knowing. So such Lord is worthy to have benediction. So Kuvera is a treasurer of demigod. He is personally offering whatever benediction Dhruva Maharaj like. Because he is ruling here, right? So Vilva Mangal is Thakur, he quotes that verse, Muktim Mukulatanjali Sevdate Asma. So anyone who is engaged in pure devotional service, so there these things are waiting on the door. So Prabhupada is saying those verses here. So with that verse we can stop. It's a very nice verse of Bilva Mangal Thakur, which Prabhupada is quoting here. What is that? So many places Prabhupada quotes this verse actually. So you can see, Bhaktistvai sthiratara Bhagavan yadi syat Daivena nah falati divya kishora murtihi Muktim swayam mukulitanjali sevyate sma Dharmartha kamagataya samaya pratiksha. My dear Lord, if we develop unflinching devotional service unto you, then automatically your transcendental youthful fall is revealed to us. Thus, liberation herself waits with folded hands to serve us, and the ultimate goals of religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification patiently wait to render service to us. So, Kuvera is the treasurer, he has all wealth. So, economic development. So, that is coming to Dhruva Maharaj. That's why Prabhupada is quoting this verse. So, thank you very much for your patient hearing. So we'll pause here for today. In case there are some question, comments, or corrections, or
Hare Krishna.
you may ask. Otherwise, we'll end. Antaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So officially we end. Anyone wants to proceed, proceed. In case anyone has anything, they can wait. Both can do it happily. Anyone has anything about what we discussed today? Yes, Mataji?
Prabhuji, if Dhruva Maharaj would have continued to kill the yakshas, then he would have got karma for that.
Karma, yes, because he was doing inappropriate action. No? So I would say not karma, but kind of offense because he's creating udvega unnecessarily, right? So that way he would have got some reaction of that because it is unnecessary, which is happening, isn't it?
So if a person is already liberated, then also like again you can fall into material world.
So that's the nature of this world, Mataji, that at the age of 5, you see so many examples like that. Prachitas also became angry again. So the nature of world is there and bhakti is very powerful. So these things are not going to change the end result which Lord has given them benediction. However, it can create some detour because of some inappropriate action. Because inappropriate action can happen from such great souls. So what to speak of us? So we have to be careful. That's what we learn from this. Because Bhagavatam is filled with such incidences, right? So it goes to show the practical reality of this world, hmm, of relationships, duties, bhakti, and responsibilities. So it's quite complex. If you put yourself in Dhruva's position, he has to rule the kingdom, right? So there are many things overlapping. It's not a mechanical thing. His devotional service is there. Hmm. So there are many incidences like that. That's why what is important is we have to accept that we will also commit mistake. But we have to behave in such a way that some well-wisher will come and tell us, Prabhu, please stop. And we should stop. This is our hope. This is our hope on the association which we have, the relationships which we have. Because who cannot commit? Bhagavatam has innumerable examples. Brahmaji running, we have heard that, right? And Prachetas, they got darshan of Lord, they got angry. But Soma came, he tried to pacify. And any other examples, great souls. Nine canto is filled with all that. So that is there. This actually Soma attacking Soma. So these all stories are there, Mataji, but these stories we have to understand in fully. It is not just Soma was lusty for the daughter of his guru, Brihaspati. This is a big. So what I'm trying to say is the big complete picture is very complex and vast, which we can't understand actually. But only thing is being careful, actually. Being careful, and the three modes and all can affect the person. Okay. Yes, Rishi Kumar, you have
Yeah,
come back.
just wanted to add what you are saying regarding Mataji's
Please,
question.
please go ahead.
So you gave two examples. I remember during your Bhakti Shastri also, Raman Prabhu gave this nice example as to he gave an example of Krishna and Arjuna. Although Krishna gave the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and the battlefield was Kurukshetra, when his son died, so he got very, I mean to say, it externally seemed that he is very much lamenting, and he actually took a vow, I'll kill this person. So he gave example that even after realization, see, he told 2 points. One is when these things are coming, or even after realization or God's darshan and all these things, first is to show that they are human beings. So I mean to say they have emotions. That's the one
Exactly.
point.
Exactly.
Emotions will come up. The height of the emotions may also come up. But second thing Prabhuji said, I still remembering, that emotion may come, but actually how he behaves after the emotion is subdued or when he's been guided by some. Like in case of this also, Krishna told, okay, then be pacified. So he then came to his senses.
Yes. Very nice, very nice. And here also Dhruva came to senses. Dhruva was emotionally affected. Na? That's why Manu has to elaborate all these things, right? He said, your Jnana, no. So the emotions are very strong actually. And emotions can be strong towards devotees. So there is no problem because that's what is the goal, right? Developing deeper emotions. So it's very nice thing actually, example also. That Arjuna becoming. So Mahabharata is full of all that, Bhima expressing emotion, but he is always obedient to Yudhishthir. Whatever he has, no, he is. So they are following dharma, but not suppressing their emotions. So this is a very mature way among the relationship. They don't misunderstand each other. Even Draupadi very strongly expresses her emotions actually in that when they go to Vanvas, no? But they have samvad with each other. They are challenging each other's opinions. But Yudhishthir Maharaj is such a personality. He hears everything. He respects them for what they are, and he expresses his side, and they follow it. So that's true, Prabhu. That's the devotee. That if his emotions are dealt properly by someone, actually, very high level of emotion is Srivas Thakur. His son died, and then then he just came and told the mothers that don't cry. And he said, if you cry, then I will jump in Ganges. So that is very high level. But Abhimanyu's case is more relevant, that Arjuna getting affected. And Draupadi also getting affected, right? When the five sons were killed. Actually, that is very nice thing. Where Draupadi is pacified by saying what? That I will bring his head and you stand on the head and take bath. So it's such a heavy emotion. But when he brought it, how did she reply? So emotion was subdued. So she was very, very mild and very profound in her dealings. So emotions will come and they have to be dealt with, and that requires proper maturity and relationships. Very yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your guidance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you for your input, Prabhu. Anything else anyone else has about what we discussed today? So fine. So we'll meet next Saturday, and hopefully next time this. I think I have to cover. So you have to tolerate me for next Saturday, Sunday. Then your thing will be over. So
So
52
I just say
people.
one thing, that in my teaching also I tell this in the colleges, the teacher doesn't generally cover syllabus. He uncovers them. So you are uncovering the things, not covering.
No, no. When I am studying because of all of you, I am first time studying this section. So I am grateful to all of you that because of you, this section is getting
It's
uncovered.
something like who has done a PhD and then he's been asked to teach a course. He said, I am learning a course and teaching. He has already done PhD.
No, Prabhu, this is
Because
not a
he is
joke.
now going into depth now.
No, bro, I have not studied this section. Seriously, I'm saying, I'm honestly saying. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you. Hare Krishna.
we will meet next Saturday and complete this Saturday, Sunday, this chapter next time. Dhruva Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Grantharaj
Thank you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.